Hey Queens, my name is Alyssa, and today we're diving into the topic that has been buzzing all over social media since 2021, the that girl trend. And while it may seem empowering on the surface, I'm here to tell you why this trend is actually toxic, self-destructing, and mentally draining. While glamorizing structured routines and positive habits, this trend is robbing you out of your own identity and stripping you of self-worth. That girl is a wellness archetype that rose to prominence on TikTok back in 2021. It's a trend that encourages women to be that girl, the one who wakes up early, practices yoga, or goes to the gym early in the morning, keeps a journal, drinks green juice, is always incredibly fit, and wears minimal makeup. Her house is always spotless. Her bathroom is aesthetically organized, and her kitchen cabinets are filled with those vintage drinking glasses. Her whole life seems to be picture perfect.
And I'm pretty sure that girl thing is like to be some sort of super fit, skinny, Pilates princess, matcha drinking, green smoothie lover girly who has like no blemishes, no problems, who can wake up like a robot every single day and basically just show up as if you're on top of the world.
However, one of the biggest issues with this trend is the pressure to conform to unrealistic aesthetics and relentless self-improvement, which can be self-destructive because it fosters an egocentric lifestyle and unsustainable pursuit for perfection. If you're not waking up at 5 a.m., drinking green juice, and going to the gym, you may feel like you're falling short, and this can lead to feelings of inadequacy and anxiety. Studies show that constant comparison yourself on social media can negatively impact mental health. That girl trend can exacerbate this by making people feel like they need to live up to a specific standard, which can lead to a burnout. It's essential to remember that everyone's journey is different, and it's okay not to fit into a mold. Stop trying to become a part of the herd. Herd mentality refers to a tendency for individuals to follow the opinions and behaviors of a group, even if those opinions and behaviors go against their own beliefs. That girl trend falls exactly under the spectrum of the herd mentality, where a large group of women, especially young girls, are being groomed into doing the same thing, following the trend, desperately trying to fit in without ever questioning the consequences. If you're not waking up at 5 a.m. and hitting the gym, keeping a journal, and drinking green juice from one of those vintage drinking glasses with a butterfly glass straw, then you're way behind and you don't belong.
Checked my phone the first thing in the morning, I would feel so guilty. If I didn't journal and do my gratitude and meditate for like 2 days, I thought I was a whole ass failure. Sorry, but that is so toxic, and I need to be okay with the fact that I am not perfect. But the fact of the matter is, you are growing, and you need to embrace that growth instead of just pushing yourself down because you feel like you aren't doing enough.
And don't get me wrong, all these things are absolutely harmless and can be very beneficial for self-improvement, but it's the loss of individuality and the lack of self-esteem that suppress people's opinions, values, and desires. This trend is composed by higher influences that set the norm that there is a very specific way to live. It's the neutral colors in your apartment, clean girl aesthetics, expensive Pilates classes, drinking lemon water first thing in the morning, getting Starbucks, buying lots of greens, and stocking your fridge with green juice. And here comes the undisclosed financial issue of the trend. Trying to become that girl can be extremely financially draining. It's the Gisou hair products, Dyson Airwrap, Stanley Cup, Lululemon activewear, Glow Recipe skincare, and Sol de Janeiro body care, high-end makeup, and the list goes on. And it's the constant pursuit of this egocentric, self-fixated lifestyle and unsustainable quest for perfection. And what if I told you that lemons are extremely acidic and can raise the acidity in your stomach, which can trigger or worsen the symptoms of acid reflux, heartburn, or even lead to stomach ulcers. So I would be very careful drinking lemon juice on an empty stomach. Working out every day can be detrimental to your health. Each workout creates microscopic tears in your muscle tissue, and rest is crucial for those tears to heal and your muscles to grow stronger. During rest, your body releases hormones that promote muscle recovery, and not to mention strenuous exercise can negatively impact your joints. Drinking green juice can offer some nutritional benefits, of course, but it's high in oxalates that can lead to kidney stones or even kidney failure if consumed in large amounts. Not to mention, juicing removes the fiber, which is beneficial for your digestion, blood sugar control, and gut health. The saddest part of the whole situation is that people who promote this lifestyle are either incredibly uneducated or simply don't care about the consequences of their actions. Sugar-coated glamorous product sells a lot better than the naked ugly truth. Keep in mind that the majority of the products that are being featured in those videos and reels are in fact undisclosed ads. Algorithm naturally suppresses reels and videos that are marked as sponsorships on TikTok. Those influencers are being paid or earning commission for mentioning those products and brands, sometimes without even trying them first. It's the toxic positivity that is being sold under the narrative of becoming a perfect woman, which in fact is not real and does not exist.
I don't know what these people are actually doing. It's so easy to capture a moment and not do it. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I have made videos of me like doing my morning routine, of me like journaling, and I don't actually journal that day. Like, it's so easy to pretend. Social media is so fake.
Things that the That Girl creators don't want you to know. This video about juicing is so unhealthy. You're not gonna get a body like this by hopping on some juice trend. And finally, just remember all the effort and time it takes to create these. Even to get a cute picture of yourself like this, there's a lot of cleaning, like dressing, angles. Social media constantly sells us this idea of a life that doesn't exist.
None of those influencers are actually doing the things that they're preaching about in those videos and reels. It's a very sneaky way of demolishing your mindset, ruining your confidence, stripping you out of your own identity, and making you doubt your self-worth so they can pick up those pieces and shape or glue them back together in a way that benefits them. It's a very genius marketing tactic that is laser focused on one thing only: selling you a false reality. We are trying so hard to become that girl by performing confidence and slapping on a pretty filter that our own identity is becoming a travesty of our own play. There is a very fine line between building a better version of yourself and living a sustainable life, which, yes, does include prioritizing your mental health, taking care of yourself, prioritizing self-care, going to the gym, drinking enough water, building that muscle strength, and becoming a plastic version of an internet Barbie. And if you tie your values and beliefs into something so shallow, you're going to naturally fail at the end of the day.
It's almost like we're all afraid to make any decisions that aren't directly approved by TikTok.
I got bad news for you. We're all the same because it's how we're wired to be. TikTok and social media just amplifies this. It's a lot harder for us to decide to stand out and be our own true individual selves. But for the ones who dare to be visionaries and think outside the box, if they're true to themselves, the sky is like the absolute limit for them.
A person with a weak sense of self-worth and self-belief is more prone to doubt and insecurity, therefore is susceptible to different trends of trying to become anybody else rather than themselves. You need to break free from the herd. Stop following the crowd. Work on building a strong self-identity. Social media platforms have become key players in amplifying collective behavior, also known as herd behavior, while projecting an illusion of personalized user autonomy. What I mean by that when you think you have finally found your best friend that caters to your needs and wants that you can look up to and relate to, and I'm talking about influencers, in reality, thinking that you're in control of the situation, in reality, it's them that are running the course of your life by making you live in this pink glowing bubble and conform to the fake reality. Buying all those products, wearing clothing brands that they're wearing, following their footsteps and taking on their daily rituals is not going to cure your depression. It will not make you feel better on the inside. It will not eliminate your fears and address deeper issues.
But the fact that everyone is trying to be like a certain type of way is really sad to me, because we all have our individual interests. We all have our individual like style. So why are we all trying to be that one style? Isn't the beauty of life and different personalities just that? Like, we're all supposed to be different and it's interesting to be different. So why is everyone trying to be that girl? And why is everyone trying to have that clean, slick back look. Now, if everyone wants to be, cool, you do you. Like I said, I love that look. But I don't think we should feel the need to look that way because society is like pointing that, you know what I mean?
Why are we so desperately trying to become a carbon copy of each other? Working on building a strong mindset, facing insecurities and addressing deeper issues is a lot harder than maxing out credit cards, buying all those products, putting on the mask while trying to become somebody else.
Let's talk about the it girl or the that girl trend that's going around all over TikTok. I feel like this trend can be very damaging because we all are unique, we all dress uniquely, and if we all become that girl, then we take away what makes us truly us and how we express ourselves, whether it's with creative outfits or makeup or hobbies. If we all start dressing and looking like the it girl, then we all look exactly the same, and what's fun in that? I think that we should all be uniquely ourselves, and I think that is the most beautiful thing we can be.
On the contrary, the constant exposure to these idealized images can trigger the feelings of envy and comparison, leading to a negative self-image and lower self-esteem. Pressure to constantly strive for perfection can be overwhelming and unsustainable in the long run. Therefore, this leads to a burnout and even mental health issues. You are taught to prioritize self-care and self-improvement over addressing deeper issues and seeking help when needed. It is called a sense of toxic positivity. Maintaining a perfect facade can lead to a neglect of social connections and human relations, which are crucial for the overall well-being. In other words, you are being isolated and manipulated. Think if this is something that you need. How can you embrace your unique self, break free from the herd, and prioritize your well-being over the opinions of others? First and foremost, never stop educating yourself. There is a very wise expression that I have personally adopted as my motto. If they say it's an apple, we check. File for divorce from social media. Anything you see on social media is being curated with one purpose only, to sell you the end product. And as dooming as it sounds, no one out there truly cares about your issues. I'm going to give you a good example. Have you seen this all over social media? Did any of your favorite influencers swear by this product? Does it look aesthetically pleasing? Does it promise to cure all of your gut issues? It does, doesn't it? Well, here is when you start educating yourself. Now, the ingredients are pretty impressive at first glance. There's vitamin B6, fiber added probiotic blend, cranberry root extract. What could go wrong, right? Let's start with vitamin B6. Now, an average adult needs approximately 1.6 micrograms of vitamin B6 per day. The main sources of vitamin B6 are fish, chicken, turkey, legumes, beans, starchy vegetables like corn, potatoes, yams, pretty much the products you consume on a daily basis. So unless you're truly deficient in vitamin B6, which can only be done by sampling your blood work, you don't need to be taking extra vitamin B6 on a daily basis. Here's where the gloves come off. An excess amount of vitamin B6 consumed daily causes constipation and nerve damage in your gut. Now let's take the superfood blend for example. Whenever it says blend on the label, it's the first indication that some cheaper ingredients can significantly prevail in the quantitative ratio, which could easily mean that there's 90% of beet or kale powder and only 0.02% of blueberry extract. I personally never buy supplements that have proprietary blends in them. Give me a specific amount of each, I will do my research and I will decide if your product is worth my money. I do not have trust in companies that do not disclose exact amounts. And please be very careful when it comes to kale and beets. As much as they're notorious for promoting a healthy bowel movement, they can also cause severe constipation. How do I know that? I have a sensitive gut syndrome, and kale is my worst enemy. I cannot be having even a spoonful of kale. Nobody knows your gut better than you do. What woman does not have gut issues? What female does not suffer from constipation, bloating, and water retention? Your issues and sufferings is their gain. It's their capital. They monetize off of your vulnerability. And the only way you can break free from this vicious cycle is by first educating yourself and doing your diligent research and breaking free from the herd and standing out in the crowd. Next, Challenge the group's assumptions and seek out alternative perspectives. If you find yourself in a group of people that seems to be thinking the same thing, bring up alternative viewpoints and ask questions that challenge the group's assumptions. Don't be afraid of critical thinking. Always have these questions in your mind. Who said/wrote this and why? What are their sources? What are their intentions? And are they representing themselves or somebody else's interest? You need to start making decisions independently rather than going along with the group, even if they're your close friends. And the last but not least, and probably one of the most crucial things, learn to say no. Yes, it can be very difficult to go against the group, but it's the first step and the only step to assert your independence and stand up for what you believe in. If your friend or a group of friends attack you for having an opinion, they're not your friends to begin with. Surround yourself with people who are not afraid of constructive criticism and critical thinking. I'm going to give you a personal example. I had been brutally bullied in middle and all the way through high school. It's a separate video that I'm going to make on this topic and share my experience and how I was able to come out of this battle even stronger. But a part of this bullying has always been attributed to me not willing to fit in. Even though it made me a severe, if I can call it a severe, people pleaser, always keeping my head down. No more, girlfriend. No more. I would rather be on my own and happy than endanger my mental health that took me years to rebuild. There is a very fine line between selfish and cocky and being confident and independent-minded. Just because I say no does not mean I don't take other people's opinions, worries, or concerns into consideration. Don't ever be afraid to lose friends and becoming a black sheep. You're not the only one. Eventually, you will attract and surround yourself with people like you.
And in no time, you'll become that girl. Although I must say, I'm afraid that we've lost touch of that other girl. The one who used to just exist before she felt like she had to optimize everything. What if real self-improvement wasn't a routine or a trend? What if it's therapy, rest, or being kinder to yourself? Maybe the real glow-up isn't about becoming that girl. Maybe it's about taking care of the girl you've always been.